Today was one of those days where it was harder to be active in my recovery. Um, but I persevered. Um, Last night, I had a panic attack. I had a flare up and my irritable bowel syndrome. It was bad. I was crying, hitting the walls, praying. I was throwing up. It was really bad. And so I knew that today, being Monday, was going to kind of be a crapshoot. But I had some very important things that I needed to do. One was being on a call where I'm organizing a grant project and funding with the Anchor partner. And so that was at 10, and then the other one was at 2:30, where I would be a guest lecturer for a class on the topic of cultural competency and things like that, in front of a group of medical professionals, including residents, doctors, nurse practitioners, other providers, and that was important. And I knew that these were things that I wasn't going to cancel, but I didn't know how I would be able to get to them. And so I realized that I make bargains with myself, because every day is a choice to be active in recovery, but those choices sometimes are really easy. It's harder when you're dealing with anxiety or you're dealing with depression. For me, that's the hardest. And so yesterday I knew I needed to go to bed, and I knew I was emotionally distraught. I had a lot of thoughts of, well, let's just eat our way through this emotional distress. But that's not as satisfactory to me anymore. So I chose not to. And I did take some medicine to help me cope with some things. And I went to bed. And then some of that medicine has a side effect of making you drowsy, so I knew it'd be hard for me to get up in the morning. I tried to be more realistic about what time I could get up, but I couldn't even get up then, so I had to make little bargains. Get up so you have enough time to go to the bathroom, drink something, and be on this call. So I was able to do that with a 30-minute window, be active on the call. And the bargain I made was you'll get back in bed and then get up to go to teach this class. And if that's the only thing you do today, you've done excellent. And for me, it was really hard to get up to go teach the class. But I made these bargains, and I was like, if you get up now, you could go get some coffee and eat something before you go, because you need to eat something. You're going to be hungry. And then after that, you'll be able to come home and go to bed. Often the advice when you're depressed, when you're dealing with a depression, and mine just suddenly came about, which with rapid cycling bipolar, it happens, that doing something actually does help your depression. Interacting with people helps your depression, but it's so hard to do that sometimes. So I made these little bargains, and once I was up pulling out my clothes to wear, and saying, oh, let's wear something different, not something you've already worn, put something together. And so I was doing that, those little things, going to brush my teeth, things like that started to help put a little pep in me, and I was able to think, well, maybe I might feel better and want to go swimming afterwards. I might want to go to a coffee shop, so let me just bring my laptop with me. So things like that, it actually does help, and it did help, and I was able to get out the door, have enough time to comfortably get to where I was going, and arrive in a place that normally I would have just masked everything. I wouldn't have even have tapped in to myself enough to know that I'm doing this by sheer willpower. but I was able to know what was going on and pat myself on the back and keep myself and push myself in a way, a loving way, saying that if this is all you do today, you've done more than you thought you could. You've done great. And then receive the feedback from people today that I met, and how great that felt to receive genuine feedback and take that. And then I also was able to share with a few people I'm close to that today and yesterday was not easy. And it's not to say that all the struggle is gone, but it's a great day at the end of the day. And being able to share that and share my vulnerability with those people also encouraged them enough that they shared some of their vulnerabilities, and also are able to see that too often I know that people don't see that. They don't think that I have some of the struggles of mental illness, and that's fine, but I know that it does a disservice to the public if I am not authentic enough to share some of my struggles and vulnerabilities, that I know I serve the world that I want to serve by being more open about that. So although last night I was hitting the walls, crying, throwing up, like it was really bad, today is another day, and I had to take it a little easier. I had to make some bargains, but at the end of the day, I can say you did everything that you personally could have done. So thank you.